Hello students, I am Brijendra Kumar Patel, PGT Chemistry, JNV Golaghat, Assam. Today I am here with the topic for class 11, unit number 5, states of matter. Students, as you know, a matter has three states: solid, liquid and gas. So about solid and liquid we will study in class 12. In class 11, in our syllabus, states of matter is there. Here we will study about the properties of gases and the rules which are followed by gases. So before starting rules and regulations, let's have some introduction about the properties of gases. First property of gas is the particles of gases. These are very small as compared to the container in which they are kept. Second, intermolecular forces between the molecules of gas. These forces are very weak. That's why these forces are not able to bring the molecules closer. Third is interparticle space. So the interparticle space of gaseous molecule, it is very high. So that's why gas occupies a large volume. Gas, it has neither fixed volume nor fixed shape. It acquires the shape of the container in which it is kept. So these are some basic information about gases. Here we will see the type of intermolecular forces by which the molecules of gases are bonded with each other. So let's see. First force is dispersion force or London force. In this force, students, this force operates between the molecules which are non-polar. So what is polar? Polar means those molecules in which the atoms have partial positive and partial negative charge. Just like the magnet, as magnet has north pole and south pole, it has two different poles. Like that, a molecule has two different charges. For example, HCl. In case of HCl, hydrogen forms H plus and chlorine, it forms minus chloride ion. So this one is polar molecule. And non-polar molecule, best example is CO2. In CO2 carbon, it neither forms plus or minus. So CO2 molecules, these are non-polar. So this force operates between non-polar molecules. So let's see how this force brings the molecules closer. Here for reference, I have taken two molecules. The polarity of molecules, it depends on the electronic charge or electronic cloud. Electronic cloud means, you know, an atom has some electrons. For example, chlorine has 17 electrons, oxygen has 8 electrons. So different elements have different number of electrons. These electrons are distributed in different cells. We have studied in class 9 and 10 about the distribution of electrons. And also in the second chapter, you have studied about the distribution of electrons. So we will see here, in case of non-polar molecules, the electronic cloud, that one is symmetrical and spherical in shape. So if it is spherical, it means around this nucleus, all the sides, electronic charge, it is equal. Equal means this molecule is non-polar. So how these two non-polar molecules, they are bonded with each other. So here electrons, as you know, electrons are moving around moving in an orbit in extranuclear portion of nucleus. So here you can see one time electron is present here, second time electron is present here, third time electron is present here, fourth time electron is present here. In this case, electrons, their position is here, position of electrons. So see, in case of symmetrical molecules, this one is symmetrical because the electrons, they are at maximum distance and the distribution of the electronic cloud, it is similar in all directions. But for a short of while or very short time, these electrons, they gather in one place. It means in place of, now see here, if these electrons are gathering in one place, so in place of this distribution, now the distribution becomes like this. Distribution becomes like this. All the electrons are present here, minus, minus, minus. but this is for very short time. At the same time, this electron, because of the gathering of minus charge here positive charge develops. So this minus and plus, they attract each other. So these molecules, they come closer. But this is for very short time. So we can say here, this is instantaneous dipole. And this is caused due to more electron density on the either right hand side or left hand side. In this case, electrons are gathered here, electrons are here. That's why positive charge is here. Because of positive electron is here, positive charge, electrons are here. So between these plus and minus, attraction will be there. So these molecules will come closer. This is intermolecular force. Now the keyword is dispersion force or London force. It operates between non-polar molecules. Non-polar molecules like CO2. Then next type of force, this is dipole-dipole force. So this dipole-dipole force, it exists between polar molecules. Polar molecules, I have told you example of HCl. Here you can see hydrogen, it is positively charged. This one is delta. Delta means very, very less. So this one is positively charged, but the magnitude of this positive charge is not very high. So a small positive charge develops on H, and at the same time a small negative charge, it develops on Cl. So because of this plus and minus, now you can easily understand these are two molecules of HCl. Here this minus will attract this H plus. So these two polar molecules, they will come closer. Okay. So dipole-dipole force, it works in case of polar molecules. Now dipole-induced dipole force. Dipole-induced dipole, this type of force exists between polar molecule and non-polar molecule. So in polar molecule, you know very well, there is a plus and minus charge. But in non-polar molecule, again the electronic cloud, it is symmetrical and spherical. So here is plus and minus, but here is no net charge. So because of this minus induces this molecule to become charged. Means here electrons are present here. So this electron is symmetrical. So this minus charge will attract electron. This positive charge will attract electron. So here minus is, because of this minus charge, positive charge will be there. If here is positive charge, minus charge will be there. So opposite charge, they develop opposite charge. So here in case of this non-polar molecule, because of this negatively charged, it induces the development of positive charge. So again plus and minus, they will attract each other. So now see, we have three types of forces. Dispersion force between non-polar, dipole-dipole force, polar. Dipole-induced dipole between polar and non-polar. Because of the polar molecule, the polarity develops on non-polar molecule. Next type of force is hydrogen bond. This hydrogen bond, it is formed between the molecules. Now before discussion, let's see hydrogen bond. Define hydrogen bond. Hydrogen bond is a simple type of bond which is formed between hydrogen and electronegative element. Okay, remember this one. Between hydrogen and electronegative element. And these electronegative elements are, first element, this one is fluorine, second element oxygen, third is nitrogen. So hydrogen bond, this bond will be formed between hydrogen and any one of these three elements. For example, take an example of H2O. So you know a structure of H2O. This one is a structure of H2O. This is one molecule. Second molecule of H2O, HOH. Here see, this is a covalent bond. We are not talking about this bond. This is not hydrogen bond. Hydrogen bond, this will be formed between hydrogen and electronegative element, this oxygen. So between these two, here, between these two, hydrogen bond will be formed, and this bond is denoted by in the dot form, not by solid line. Remember this thing, in the form of dots, means H and O. If this bond is there, this one is hydrogen bond. If this is a bond, this is covalent bond. So hydrogen bond, if the molecules they have hydrogen bond, they will come closer. This one is a stronger bond as compared to other three bonds we have discussed. So after the type of forces, let's see we come to our main topic, that is the gases law. Gases laws means the laws when we compress gas, when we expand gas, whenever we are doing some experiments with gases, they follow some rules. We have to study those rules or those laws. First law, this is Boyle's law. The name of the scientist was Robert Boyle. He produced this law. This law predicts or explains the relation between pressure and volume. So forget about rules, just simple experiment. What is that? What's the relation between pressure and volume? So suppose this is a volume. Okay, if you compress, means if you increase pressure, the volume will decrease. So what's the relation? If you increase pressure, volume will decrease because the molecules will come closer to each other. So the relation between pressure and volume is pressure, it is inversely proportional to volume. So here third parameter, temperature and the amount of gas should be kept constant. So at constant temperature, the pressure of a fixed amount of gas, and fixed amount of gas means what? Fixed amount of gas means number of moles. It should be fixed, 1 mole, 2 mole, 3 mole. So the number of moles should be same. At constant temperature for fixed amount of gas, the pressure, it varies inversely with its volume. Means pressure is inversely proportional to volume. Okay, mathematically we can say here P, it is directly proportional to 1 by V or inversely proportional to V. If you remove this proportionality constant, it will be P is equal to K into 1 by V. This K is a constant. So this is a mathematical expression of Boyle's law. Here see, when we are going to compress a gas means what? Suppose at P1 pressure, the volume is V1. So at P2 pressure, what will be the new volume? So to calculate that volume, we will use the relation. Relation is P1 V1 equal to P2 V2. It is nothing a simple calculation, and that calculation is what? From here you can see P into V. P V, it is equal to what? K from this. Okay, P, it is equal to PV into equal to K. So initially P1 V1 is equal to K. Since the K is a constant, so K it will be equal to P2 V2. So here we can write P1 V1 equal to P2 V2. So this expression we will use to calculate, okay, or to solve numericals. So remember this relation, P1 V1 equal to P2 V2. Next, the relation between pressure and density. Okay, so see, we know density is equal to mass upon volume. So the volume is equal to mass upon density. Put the value of V in this equation. So here P is equal to K by V. Value of V, it is M by D. So the relation will be now P is equal to K into D by M. K is a constant for a fixed amount of gas. So if the amount of gas is fixed, means mass will be constant. So this one is constant, this one is constant. What's the relation between P and D? Simple relation. And the relation is P, it is directly proportional to D. Okay. Note these relations. These are very, very important relation. We have to remember. So after the relation between pressure and density, we come to the graph. This graph actually, it's an experimental graph which is prepared after by doing a lot of experiments. In this graph you can see this axis is volume, this is a pressure. So simple relation. As you here, as we increase volume, okay, pressure is decreasing. Now here you can see, as we increase volume, pressure is decreasing. At maximum pressure, volume is minimum. At minimum pressure, volume is maximum. So from this graph, it is clear that pressure, it is inversely proportional to volume. These are at different temperatures. So for every temperature, if you keep temperature constant and amount of gas constant, you will find the value of product of PV. It is always and always constant. Okay. So from this graph, again it is clear here. Remember one thing also. The thing is, from this graph you can see volume, it can't be zero. Okay, volume, it can't be zero. Why? Because though molecules of gases are very, very small, but after some extent or after the maximum pressure, the volume, it will be occupied some atoms. So volume can't be zero. So that's why this graph will it's starting from this side. Okay, so this is the relation between gases, relation between pressure and volume. Second law. So let's solve some numerical. Here is a problem in our book. A balloon is filled with hydrogen at room temperature. It will burst if pressure exceeds 0.2 bar. If at 1 bar pressure the gas occupies 2.27 liter volume, up to what volume can the balloon be expanded? So simple calculation. From this numerical, first see, you have to find out the values which are given. So read this question very carefully. Here, it will burst if pressure exceeds 0.2 bar, means pressure, you can't increase pressure. Okay. If at 1 bar pressure the gas occupies 2.27 liter volume, this is a pressure and this is a volume. So suppose this pressure is P1 and the volume is V1. So at P1 pressure, means pressure is 1 bar, volume is 2.27 liter. It's a P1 and V1. So now what is given next? It will burst if pressure exceeds 0.2 bar, means P2 we have to calculate. It's a question mark. And up to what volume? Sorry, P2 is given 0.2 bar. P2 is 0.2 bar. Up to what volume? Means V2. Up to what volume the balloon can be expanded? So here we have to calculate V2. So simple. Remember this thing. First you have to write the things which are given. If you are able to find the given things, then you can solve numerical. So here, according to Boyle's law, P1 V1 equal to P2 V2. Okay. Put value of P1 V1 and P2. P1 here V2, it is equal to P1 V1 by P2. It's a side chain. And then put values, then solve. So what should be the answer? If you solve this value, you will find the answer. This one is 11.35. So here, this is equal to what? This is equal to 11.35 liter. Up to this volume, we can expand this balloon. So this is a numerical. Here again, remember one thing. You have to find out first given things. Next, second law, which is followed by gases, this is Charles' law. So according to Charles' law, first see Charles' law, it explains the relation between temperature and volume. So what's the relation between temperature and volume? You know very well, as we increase temperature, the kinetic energy of gases, molecules, it increases. Okay, and if kinetic energy increases, then they will start running, they will start moving here and there with full speed. So if they are moving here and there, it means the volume will be increased. So it's a simple relation between temperature and volume. And what's the relation? V volume, it is directly proportional to temperature. See here, if pressure remains constant, means at constant pressure, the volume of fixed mass of a gas, means the volume, the mass of the gas, means number of moles, it is again constant. So at constant temperature and number of moles, the volume is directly proportional to the absolute temperature. So now here, what is absolute temperature? We use temperature in two different units. First unit is degree centigrade and second unit is Kelvin. So here first remember this thing, note it down. Okay, in all scientific calculation we will use Kelvin scale. Don't use Celsius. Always use Kelvin scale. So in question, if temperature is given in centigrade, then simple, convert it into Kelvin. How? So it's a simple relation between centigrade and Kelvin, and the relation is C plus 273. This is equal to K. Means if the temperature is 25 degree C, so 25 plus 273, it is equal to K. So in Kelvin scale, the temperature will be 298 K. So here this is absolute temperature, means we have to here use temperature in Kelvin scale. So it's a relation between volume and temperature, directly proportional. Remove this sign. So V, it is equal to K into T. K is a constant, that is proportionality constant. Then at different temperature and volume, suppose at V1 volume temperature is T1, so at V2 volume temperature will be T2. So it's a simple relation from this equation C, V by T, it is equal to K. K is a constant. V1 is V1 by T1, it is equal to K, and K will be equal to V2 by T2. So simple relation, V1 by T1, it is equal to V2 by T2. Remember, note down this relation. This is a law, mathematical expression, and the relation for our calculation. Then relation between temperature and density. If you increase temperature, density will decrease. How? See, density is equal to mass upon volume. Volume is equal to mass upon density. From Charles' law, we know V is equal to kT. Put the value of V, that is m by d. So mass is constant, temperature is constant, T is directly proportional to 1 by d. So from this relation again, it is clear that temperature, it is inversely proportional to density. If we increase temperature, density will decrease, because obviously it's a simple thing. If we increase temperature, molecule will start running, means they are start moving. Okay, so if they are moving, means they will leave the space, so the number of particles per unit volume, it will decrease. And if the number of particles per unit volume decreases, then density will also decrease. So temperature is inversely proportional to density. Now come to the graph. In this graph, you can see you can see what's the relation between temperature and volume. See, temperature, it can't be less than minus 273.15 K. Okay, remember, temperature, it cannot be less than minus 273.15 K. This one temperature is known as absolute temperature. Remember, this one is absolute temperature. So here, at this temperature, as we increase temperature, here see, as we are increasing temperature, pressure is increasing. So on a ship sailing in Pacific Ocean, where temperature is 23.4 degrees C, a balloon is filled with 2 liter air. What will be the volume of the balloon when the ship reaches Indian Ocean, where temperature is this one? So in this question, 2 different temperatures are given and 1 volume is given. So see, if this one is a T1, at T1 temperature, this is V2, because at this temperature volume is this. So what will be the volume at this temperature? This one is T2. Now we have to find V2. So again, this thing is very, very important. You have to find out the values which are given and what value we have to calculate. So V1 is 2 liter, V2 we have to calculate, T2. So before starting calculation, I told you that always use temperature in Kelvin scale for calculation. So before starting our calculation, convert 23.4 degrees C into Kelvin. So what's the relation? Simple. K, it is equal to the relation is K, it is equal to C plus 273. So Kelvin, it will be equal to what? 26.1 degree, okay, and 23.4 degree. So convert temperature into Kelvin scale. Then from Charles law, we know V1 by T1 is equal to V2 by T2. Put values, find answer. So this is the volume up to, this will be the new volume of the balloon when the ship reaches in Indian Ocean. Okay, so like in this way we can solve numerical. Third relation or third law, this one is Gay-Lussac's law. This law predicts the relation between pressure and temperature. So pressure and temperature, it's a simple thing. Simple thing means, yeah, you know, in our kitchen, if you are cooking rice in cooker, then you can understand this thing very, very easily. You fill cooker with water, okay, cover it up and let it heat. So as the temperature is increasing, since the volume is constant, the volume of the container or the cooker, it can't be increased. So volume is constant, and also the volume of the amount of gas is also constant. So as you increase temperature, after some time you see there is a vessel or the vessel that is lifted up. Okay, why? Because as you increase temperature, the molecules, their kinetic energy, it increases. So molecule will start running here and there with a high speed. So that's why, since the volume is constant, so the pressure will be high, because they will collide with each other. They will collide with container with more force. So the pressure will be high. So at constant volume, pressure of a fixed amount of gas, it varies directly with the temperature. Then last one law is Avogadro law. This law explains the relation between volume and amount. So no need to explain this law, because it's a very simple thing. And the thing is, if you take 1 liter of water, okay, 1 kg of water, what will be the volume? If you take 2 kg of water, definitely volume will be high. So with the increase in number of moles, with the increase in mass of the substance, volume also increases. So volume is directly proportional to number of moles. As you increase number of moles, volume will also increase. So these are the laws which are followed by gases. Then last